Hi, this is Steve Gross here. So we're getting a lot of inquiries about what drop shipping is and what relevancy it has to online business. In addition, what are the pros and the cons or goods and bads with drop shipping? So we prepared this little graph for you, and let's go through it now. So a customer starts online searching for, in this case, red bicycles, which I just noticed that the person who prepared this doesn't know how to spell bicycle, so we'll fix that. Anyway, started with search for red bicycles. Okay, now we go from red bicycles, and then we go to your ad, if you're doing PPC, which is looking for red bicycles, if you remember watching our PPC video. From there, they get directed to your website, blog, forum, article, press release, so forth and so on, but eventually they find a place to buy a red bicycle, and in this graph you see we have a 1 next to a fast red bicycle. They then purchase that, goes through your shopping cart. Your shopping cart then can interface with various forms of software that will automatically or manually, you can send an order to a factory in this case, or a distribution center that you might be purchasing a red bicycle from, and have that sent directly to your customer as opposed to you. So it goes via truck or UPS, FedEx, whatever, however it gets shipped, common carrier, and it gets shipped directly to your customer. At that point in time, the difference between what you sold it at and what you bought it for goes into your pocket, and that's you. That's the dollars. So you notice here in drop shipping, you don't ever have to touch the product, so you're not responsible. You're not responsible to keep it in inventory and so forth. Anyway, the advantages of that, the pros would be you can get to market faster with selling a given product because you don't have to purchase it, have it made, bring it in inventory, those kind of things. The next item we have here is no or little inventory. That's a big advantage. You don't have capital locked up in inventory. Your next is low upfront cost. Low upfront cost is basically has to do again with purchasing your inventory, getting a distribution center, or a warehouse, so forth and so on. It enables you to sell a wider breadth of product lines because, again, it's might be hooked into the capital that's required. But you can basically offer anything that you can pay for. So if you can find it online, you can offer it. Okay, cross-pollination, which means that you can be selling bicycles, and then you can find other product lines that go along with selling bicycles, maybe the clothing that you might wear to ride a bicycle, the shoes, the pedals. It could be a little bit of anything. Then you get down into third-party shipping. You can have your factory or distribution center you're purchasing it from do the shipping and then add it to your bill, so you don't have to worry about having a UPS, FedEx, common carrier account. You don't have to worry about those things. Of course, there is a premium you pay for that. You have more flexibility to move in and out of product lines for niche selling, product lines that might make you more or less profit. And then time utilization. You have your time freed up to sell and market as opposed to shipping products. So all those are very, very important. Now the cons are could be big. The returns processing can be tough. I'll give you, for instance, what if you buy your product, the red bicycles, from a distributor who then buys from a factory? You're buying from a distributor who has low inventory and then has to have it shipped directly from the factory, and the factory doesn't have it, won't have it made till next week, but sometimes they don't always tell you that, so you may have an unhappy customer. So there's a lot of complexities that go with drop shipping in terms of where it ships and who it ships from. Also, when you do that, you have to understand that where it ships from is where you're going to be charged freight from. So you have to understand you have your freight fundamentals down pat. Credits and refunds can be tough. Sometimes a customer won't wait, or they get the wrong product and they want a credit or a refund, or they may even do a chargeback on a credit card, and you had little of anything to do with that. It wasn't your fault, but you're the one that has to bear the responsibility, meaning that if they got the wrong product, chances are whoever you're buying it from is still going to require payment, and then they'll refund it to you. But you may have to, in fact, refund or credit your customer before you get your credit back from the factory or shopping cart. Another instance might be if it was damaged in shipment, the factory or distributor may not want to, in fact, give you all your money back, And the customer wants all of their money back. So you have to build that into your profit model to find out what your return rates are going to be, damage rates, things of that nature. We talked just a second ago about merchant chargebacks. Your merchant chargeback rate could go up because you don't have control over the whole logistics cycle, purchasing all the way through logistics freight cycle, which means that you may not be aware you got a problem until you get a chargeback. So that can be a real tough one to handle. Communication time. Again, you don't have the product in your house, so you have to spend time communicating. Sometimes you can't get a hold of people. You have to email them. They won't take phone calls. They won't return phone calls. So, and all that time can be an irritant for the customer. Low equity in the business, meaning that basically you have little of anything invested in inventory, so it makes your business worth less than it would be if you had your own inventory, especially if you had captive product or exclusive product. Quality control is an issue. You're not manufacturing the product, nor are you bringing it in-house, so you can't observe it personally and take a look at it, put your eyeballs on it, so sometimes those quality issues can get through. Then customer service. You spend a lot more time on customer service, tracking things down, making sure things are okay. So anyway, those are the cons. There's more of the cons and there's more pros than we have listed, but those are the ones that we like to think about when we're considering for a customer whether we want to do drop shipping or bring a product in-house. I hope all that helped. This is Steve Gross again. You can get me on Twitter at twitter.com Steve Gross or Facebook at Stephen Gross ATL. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helped, and have a great day.